Welcome back, everyone, to Draft Day Sports Pro Basketball 2024. Last time we ended season 7, the regular season anyway, and we made it to the playoffs as a 6 seed, which is one of the better seasons we've had, honestly, in this series. Maybe even the best season we've had. After starting out absolutely terrible, making a trade, things got a whole lot better. Today we are in a series against the 3 seed Waves, and this video could go one of two ways. Either we just, I'll put it this way. I'll put it this way. If we can get 3 wins against the Waves, and it's a possible elimination game in our favor, I will play that game. And whatever the result, we'll finish the video shortly after that one game is played. However, if we never get to that point and the Waves beat us before we can have 3 wins against them, then we'll be going into the off season. And I guess we'll see how far we can get to the off season. I don't know we'll get the entire way through it. May just do the draft and then probably stop before free agency because that usually takes a while. But that's sort of the plan with this video. A lot of times I go into these and I'll have a set plan, but sometimes I don't. And this is one of those times where I'm not sure how it's going to go. Let's check the depth chart before we start this series. We have no injuries, so that is awesome because we have had some injury issues for sure. We play the Waves as we have established. We need to look at what kind of a team they are. Well, they're a pretty good three-point shooting team, so we want to play attack, defense, and they're not terrible at free throws, but not great. Use a little bit of aggressiveness. So we'll get into that. Let's switch this around. We're already set on attack man-to-man. We're keeping that perimeter focus. Offense that has been so crucial for us since making the trade and turning the season around. And go into the office here. And this is about where we want it. So I may have said that before the last video ended, but it's been about a week since then. So I wasn't for sure. Now we know. So let's go ahead and see if we can win game 1. And no, we lost game 1. We actually only scored 72 points. We played terrible. Yeah, we shot absolutely terrible. Wow. Well, I don't see it getting much worse than than that. We have no injured players. We're about to do game 2. The perimeter offense has worked well for us basically since switching to it for the most part. So maybe it was a fluke game 1. Hope so. Let's go ahead and simulate game 2. We lost game 2, but at least we scored over 80 points that time. All right, game 3, still no injured players. So we go ahead and go for it. Wow. I don't know that I was expecting to win this series because the Waves are pretty good. But if this does end up being a sweep, I wasn't expecting a sweep. I was actually expecting a pretty close series. So to be down 3-0 is surprising and disappointing, both. Still no injured players, especially we're completely healthy. Okay, we actually won game 4, so we avoid the sweep. But we're still not to the point where we have 3 wins, obviously. Let's check the stats for game 4. Tyler Duckray actually has a pretty good game with 21 points, Crowley with 25, Parker with 14 and 18, Payne with 25, Johnson with 11, Sean Little with 16 off the bench. Pretty good game, about 50% from the field, 35% from 3. We win the turnover battle. Didn't win the rebounding battle, but we shot a lot better. So that was the deciding factor. So we're still alive, at least for the moment. Still no injuries. Game 5, which is always crucial. No injuries. Let's go for it. And we lose in 5 games in the first round of the playoffs. I gotta admit, I expected more. I actually expected to be playing a game this morning and not simulating to the off season. But man, that's disappointing. Well, we'll go ahead and simulate the rest of the season and get to the draft, which is what is on par now for this video. We'll probably end it with the draft. Yeah, probably end it around the not if I get into the free agency. That'll take a little time. Man, very disappointed. It looks like it's down to Phoenix and Atlanta. And Phoenix wins in 7 games. How many championships have they won, man? It's time for the draft lottery. But before that, I want to look at Chicago, Phoenix, 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 Atlanta, Phoenix, Phoenix. So yeah, man, Atlanta, Phoenix, and Chicago, especially Phoenix, have really dominated this entire thing since we started. Miami's the only outlier here, I think. But wow. Definitely definitely some dynasties built here and not by us, unfortunately. Time to advance to the draft lottery. We are not in the draft lottery. So this matters very little to us. Actually, it doesn't matter to us much at all. We'll go ahead and pick through these really quick. And we can look at the awards, though. We may have won. I actually think. I think Duckray may be the Rookie of the Year. Wow, the Rookie of the Year is Patrick Moore, not Duckray, but I mean, look at these numbers. He clearly probably deserves it. Andre Voskel wins Sixth Man of the Year, who was once a player for us that we traded away, but I think it was for the better. But I mean, maybe that was a win-win situation for us and for Andre Voskel. Obviously, we know that the league championship goes to the Beams. And nothing on the league teams for us. Nothing on the defensive teams for us. Zuzovic and Duckray both make the all-rookie first team. I mean, look at these clearly look like Rookie of the Year numbers, but if you compare them to Patrick Moore's numbers, then yeah, Patrick Moore probably did deserve that. What are the odds of that, man? To have a season like this, the same year that another rookie has a season like this, you usually won't see two rookies have that good of a season at the same time. And there's the rest of the rookie second team. So, and we leveled up, so that's a good thing. Jabari Morton has retired. We wouldn't have signed him anyway. And the contract for the head coach, the 60-year-old man that looks like a 12-year-old, has expired. So we're in the hunt for a new coach. And before we do anything, we better level up before I forget about it. Uh, okay. Hello. Now that the season is all over, I thought we'd have a quick chat about it. So tell me, how do you rate your performance this season? I don't think we did too bad, really. We lost in the first round, which stinks, but we were absolutely terrible to start off the season, and to make it to where we did in the standings after making a trade, I think we did okay considering where we started and where we ended. So I'm going to say, all in all, not too bad, I don't think. Yeah, you met and exceeded the goals we talked about at the beginning of the season, so you can't ask for much more than that. Would you like to come back? And thank you. Yes, I will. So we are not fired. We will have a season 8. Job security is still at 40%, so I don't love that, but we're not fired at this point. We have a meeting with the owner. Okay. Okay, here we go. Thought we could have a quick chat about the upcoming season. So tell me, how is the team going to fare this season? I'm going to say we're a playoff team. We made the playoffs last season. I think we can make the playoffs this season. And I'm going to try my best to keep it right about at the cap. Okay. So there we go. He seems to be okay with that. I mean to stick to that. So it's time for coach hiring. We do need a new head coach. I don't know how much it really matters with the coach. I do think it matters some towards player development, but in terms of like game plan, I actually have it turned off to give the coach Freeman or oh my gosh, what am I saying? I have it turned off to give the coach freedom, not Freeman, not Coach Freeman. Why did that come out of my mouth? I have it turned off to give the coach freedom. The players are playing actually according to what's being set up in this page. So I don't know that offensive and defensive strategy matter all that much in terms of a head coach. Maybe what we want to look at is player development. So let's go ahead and look for a new head coach. I think that's the only position that is empty. Actually, I am wrong. We have no head coach or first assistant or second assistant. So there we go. So we are hiring for all three positions. So let's look at head coach first. And I'm actually looking for like high player development. And how much money do we have? Here we have 8 million to work with. Okay. So we have a little over $8 million to hire 3 coaches. So 5 million is quite a bit of that 8 million mark. I do like this guy though. I mean, these are extremely high things we're looking for. You know what? We might as well try to hire him. Um, I want to give him 5.4 million though. Let's try for like for uh we do 4.5 million maybe for 4 years. Let's hire the head coach first and get that out of the way, and then we'll look at the assistant coaches. Will Herrick will not work for that kind of money, and Will Herrick wants a longer contract. he still available? I don't see his name anywhere signed by anyone else. Okay, well, it's worth a try. Still going to try for him again. It says 4 years. Here's what I tried, right? I'll bump it up to 5 million. San Antonio Outlaws signed Will Herrick to a 4-year million contract worth 5 million per year. Cool. So we have a new coach in Will Herrick, who's really good at player development, evaluating potential of players, and basketball IQ. So I think that's a great hire, honestly. And I think we can probably afford to be a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe be a little less focused on these next hires, hire some cheaper options. What about evaluating potential? Because we want to pick good draft picks. Wasn't this guy a coach for us at one point? Yeah, yeah, he was actually our head coach and then a second assistant later on. Actually, his contract just ran out with us, so we could just rehire Reggie Burleston. He's decent at evaluating potential. He can do a little bit of player development, higher than a lot of these other guys down through here. He's not asking for a whole lot of money. We'll try to give him 555,000 per year for 3 years. And then let's change it to second assistant. Uh, let's hire somebody with some decent offensive knowledge. We kind of struggled on offense. This guy isn't like out of the park, but he's got high IQ, good offensive knowledge. Maybe we can steer some of the practice toward his way. And we'll try for it says 4 years. He wants a little bit more money though, so we'll try 600,000. Okay. Now we signed both of them, so there we go. We're do believe we're full up on our staff now. Yeah, we're full up on staff now, so let's look at the since he's made 5 playoffs, so who did he coach for? He's coached for Indiana, and he's done decent to the finals one season. Is that right? He's done okay. This past year he didn't do great, but he's done okay. I feel pretty good about that. And we're ready to move on from this phase. So we'll go ahead and finish this series or this session out. Excuse me. And we are finished. So time for coach hiring of the D League. I don't really care about that. It's the rookie combine. So I guess this is where we look at possible rookies to draft. And man, this is a pretty solid. We have 8 players. This is pretty solid. We got a 3.5 point guard, 2.5 point guard, 2.5 two guard, 2.5 two guard, 3-star 3, 3.5 3, 3.5 center, and a 2.5 center. So we really have no power forwards. That's probably what we're looking at. Uh, we have 2 of everything else though. So power forwards or just whoever is talented, but maybe with an emphasis on power forwards. Is there a mock draft available yet? I don't know. Let's go ahead and advance to the rookie combine. Oh yeah, that's the workouts is what I was thinking about. The combine itself will actually should give us a mock draft to work with. So it's recommending Shea Bryson, powered forward from Davidson. Okay, so definitely keep an eye on that name and give him a workout. Let's look at some of these other higher names though. Yeah, this is okay. So we've seen several drafts that were pretty weak, honestly, only having 1 or 2, 3 5-star players. This class is pretty strong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 5-star draft picks. One of the stronger drafts we have seen for sure, and a good number of 4-star draft picks. Does not look, wow. If we're looking for power forwards, this is not the draft you want because look at this. In terms of star power, these are all the top players. There are no power forwards all the way down through here. The first power forward we get to is actually a 3-star and Chris Sanders. So we'll also send him a workout invite. There's also a 4-star, or I don't know if he's 4 stars or not. The 14th pick right now is projected to go to the Roar, and it's Victor's Talos, who's a power forward. Where is that guy at? Yeah, he He's right here. He's a 3-star player from Latvia. It's got Melvin Morrill as overhyped, so I think we'll skip Melvin Morrill. There's a Ronald Mueller, or I'm sorry, a Roland Mueller. Dyslexia runs in my family, so forgive me. Add to draft board. Uh, okay, who else should we give a workout to? I mean, I'm all for giving workouts to as many as we can. Let's go back down to, see, there's a Brad Brown here. I mean, I expect all these 5-star players to be finished by the time. Man, how are you a 5-star player and also a sleeper? I don't know, but add that guy to the draft board. That guy's a 7'5" center. They do have Tony Johnson, who's projected to go #1 as being overhyped, so we don't want to do that. We won't get him anyway. He'll go before he gets to us. Uh, do you guys see Doug Green over here anywhere? Oh, he's right there. Okay. But he could potentially fall to us. So yeah, we'll give Doug Green a workout. Damon King. He probably won't fall that far. Lavelle Davis. He won't fall that far. Charles Collier. He won't fall that far. Peter Casper. Yeah, he won't fall that far. Brad Brown could. Brad Brown is actually projected to go the pick before us. He's a 4-star player, so we'll definitely do a invite to him. Arthur Harris. He's projected to go kind of earlier. Tariq Allen. Yeah, we'll pass on him. Dion Young. Yeah, he's projected to go pretty early. Leon Palmer. Yeah, he's projected to go early. Brad Anderson. He could potentially fall to us. Here's the thing, though. Gosh, I hate this. I'll do this. He's a Duke player. I'm not a Duke fan. But you know what? He's a sleeper. He could fall to us. What the heck? Our goal is to win. So, Phil Meads. Hey, that guy could fall to us easily. And he's a sleeper. We'll do an invite for him. Milan Koyeman. He probably won't fall that far, so we'll pass on him. And then there'll be a bunch of 3-star players. So let's try to look for some of these that are falling around where we're drafting. Lee Ross is worth looking at. Um, I don't know about Rod Latimer. I mean, we've kind of looked at the players above us that I'm looking at. So there's a bunch of 3-star players, though. We'll give Chris Jesse a workout invite. Here's a sleeper, Isaac Wright from Valparaiso. I mean, could we possibly look at another 2-star power forward? There's a Larry Carberry, but it says he's overhyped, so we don't want to look there really. There's a 2-star Mike Kroom. Give him. There aren't a lot of power forwards. Mike Ratliff. Really see him. I don't see him anywhere on the board, so we'll pass on him. I don't see him either. Give Stevie Williams a workout invite. He's 19th to the Bucks, possibly, or the Moose. Sure, we'll do Darrell Miles. Uh, sure, we'll give one to Rod Ladd. Well, we've already done it. Let's go for it. All right, let's run the workouts. And we'll go to the draft. Okay. Let's advance to the draft. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. And we have a while to wait to get to our pick. I really don't know if we'll go with a power forward because most of the power forwards are like two-star players. Apparently, let's see, the best power forward available should be coming up here in just a second. Viktoras Tylos from Latvia is the best power forward available, apparently. We'll see if he goes or not. So Tony Joneson, as expected, goes first. But according to the scouts that I had, he is overhyped. So that's no skin off our back. We knew he would not last that long. Probably wouldn't pick him anyway. Next pick, Peter Casper. Was a point guard, I'm pretty sure. Next pick, Charles Collier to the Waves. Pick 4, Damon King to UAB from UAB. Leon Palmer goes next from LSU. Doug Green from Seton Hall. Tariq Allen from Oregon. No power forwards chosen yet, I don't think. There goes Viktoras Tylos from Latvia to the Houston Blast. So we miss out on him. Like I said, I don't know that we take a power forward. He was probably the one worth taking. That could turn into something decent. Uh, let's let's wait just a second and see who is on our target now. In terms of power forwards, I don't even know, like I said, if we'll go that direction. We could just get the best players possible and decide to worry about the power forwards when we get to free agency. But now should be coming up here. The best power forward available is Roland Mueller. So he's definitely on our list. He's not taking that time. Instead, they take Arthur Harris from Texas. David Satchel goes from St. Francis. Brad Anderson goes from Duke, who's a player we looked at, but has been taken. Deion Young from BYU. Lee Ross from Oregon. There's two players from Oregon that have been chosen. Two players from Duke who have been chosen. So Roland Mueller is still on the board. Our pick is coming up fairly quickly now. And never mind, Roland Mueller has been selected, so we missed out on another power forward. So we'll take another break and see who's the power forward that's best available now. Best power forward available now is Melvin Morrill from Howard. Lavelle Davis is chosen. Brad Brown is chosen. Definitely seeing a lot of names we gave workouts to being chosen. Really, it's good whenever you make the playoffs, but man, uh, you're not going to get much in the draft usually if you make the playoffs. Daryl Miles goes next, unless you've traded for a pick to a team that stinks. I don't like to let go of my draft picks, especially the first round draft picks. Phil Meads goes from IUPUI, or Ooey Pooey. And our pick is Stevie Williams from Memphis. And Chris Jesse goes from Weber State. And we are finally to our pick. We'll see what the analysts have to say. And really, we want to see who's also available besides the power forward position because we could decide to go a different direction. So the best point guard available is Brooks Vaughn, Stan Wall for 2 guard, Jaron Madsen at 3, Melvin Morrill still available at the 4, and Mike Metcalf for the 5. Let's see what the analysts have to say here about this pick. Who do they take with this pick? Don't have a really good feeling on what they are considering. If it were me, I would go with Mike Metcalf. Okay, certainly worth considering. That's all they have to say. Okay, so uh, let's go into it here. Shea Bryson is still available. That is who we were originally projected to pick. So let's look at Shea Bryson first. Let's see if we can find him. Let's view player details for Shea Bryson. He is mediocre at everything except defense, and he's a pretty good defender. His numbers don't wow me at all. He's a decent rebounder. He can get you some steals and some blocks. I mean, we're already a really good defensive team. Let's look at Melvin Morrill if we can find him. Do we give a... Oh, wait a minute. We did not give a... I don't think we gave Melvin Morrill a workout because it said he was overhyped. Yeah, the scouts are somewhat suggesting him. His name isn't Orange, but it also said he was overhyped, and the scout gives him 1 star. So I don't know. I don't know if you want to choose somebody that's overhyped or not. I'm thinking of leaning away from Melvin Morrill. Uh, let's look at Milan Koyman. He's still available. Surprised that he dropped as far as he has. We don't know anything about him. I've sent most of my scouts to scout American players. We don't know anything about Milan Koyman. He's a four-star player. That's all we know. So, yeah, we don't have a lot of choices, I don't think. Uh, we can look at Mike Metcalf. They suggested, one of the analysts did, Mike Metcalf. But we're kind of set at center. I mean, where even is Mike Metcalf? And it is not letting me. Well, that's great. It's not letting me pick off. We'll just sort it by name. Here's Mike Metcalf. Well, he's average at everything except passing, and he's a failure at passing. He is a good rebounder. In terms of numbers, he does have higher numbers on blocks and steals than or is it Morris? Morrill. Morrill we're looking at. But if I'm being honest, I mean, if he averaged 12 and 12 at Tennessee Martin, what's he going to average in the NBA? It's certainly going to be 12 and 12. I'm kind of leaning toward. Okay, actually, Morrill is not who we're looking at. Morrill is the guy that is overhyped. So we're not drafting Morrill. I'm leaning toward Bryson, honestly. I know he's only a two-star. And he's not really even suggested, but we do know he's a really good defender. That at the very least. So you know what? Let's just go with the mock draft selection here and pick Shea Bryson. We should have donated the pick to charity, he says. I don't know. I didn't want to draft Morrill if he's overhyped. Let's go ahead to the next human pick. Okay, so we have one more pick here. The Outlaws are on the clock with the 53rd pick. And shopping the pick aggressively. I don't plan on trading this pick probably. So if we're going to go with another power forward to fill the roster out, it says the best suggestion is Jason Howell from Virginia Commonwealth. We'll see. Well, right off the bat, I'm kind of leaning Jaron Madsen. He's a 3. Because he's the only player here that's like a 3-star in both categories. And according to the list we looked at before popping in here, he's the best small forward available. I think he has been available for a long time. Yeah, he was supposed to be the last pick in the first round. So I think that's who we'll go with. We'll select Jaron Madsen. Okay. We're just going to have the computer finish this out, honestly. It's time for the contracts, but before we do that, let's go back to the dashboard here. Yeah, Shea Bryson, who we drafted, is a one-star player, potential too, so he is not very good, unfortunately. But, that's okay. You got a cheap player for a couple of seasons. I'll keep him around, but Jaron Matson's actually a slightly better player than him, I think. And that's the guy we got in the second round. And we'll give him at least a year. And we'll complete out the contracts. We'll go ahead and do the Summer League really quick. Yeah, I don't want to do any tournament season. Or an in-season tournament, in-tournament season. That would be crazy. In-tournament season. Time for the Summer League. So we do want to go to our roster. We already can't place Duckray on the summer team. It's only his second year in. We'll place Zuzovic. Madsen. Bryson. And Sean Little can still be placed on the team. And this is the one place where I do let the computer take advantage. And they can pick the rest of the team for the Summer League because I don't really care. I will go ahead and take it right back off. That roster's filled out, so I'll take it right back off. And let's see how the Summer League plays out for our team. We lost game one. Our team did terrible. But it usually has very little to do with how you do in the regular season. So I'm not too worried about it. And it is time for free agency. So we will worry about that in the next video. We actually don't have much to work with in terms of cap status. We have like $2 million. So I'm going to be honest with you. I promise to keep it right at the cap. Is there much of a reason to have a free agency in this case? Because when we sign players for a minimum, this is about what we sign them for. We have to have 12 players. So I actually thought we would have more money to work with here, if I'm being honest. We don't have that much money to work with, so you know what? Seeing as how we don't have that much money to work with, I want to skip free agency. We'll go ahead and skip that. We'll sign a couple of players to the minimum once the regular season starts. But we don't have a lot of money to work around with, honestly. This may take a few minutes. So really, we probably have most of our team already decided. It doesn't look too much different from last season. Okay, looks like it is over. So we have some rookie options here, but to be honest with you, this just gives us another opportunity to look at contracts. And if I'm being honest, I think we've done about all we can do. Well, with George Parker, we could offer him an extension. Man, he can only get better. I do really like George Parker. He's been with us from the beginning. Solid player. You know what? Give him the extension. We can only offer a 2-year extension. Let's try this one time. If he says no, well, he said no. So you know what? We'll hold off for that now. Crowley. I think we'll hold off on Crowley as well. Marsh. We can't do anything with Marsh's contract. Can't do anything with Payne's contract. Yeah, we want to keep Ducray as long as possible. Can we give him an extension yet? I don't know. He says he's not interested in an extension at this point. So Otis Arnold, we have no control over. Sean Little. Yeah, I would like to give him another extension. Let's bump it down to 2 years then. He says no for right now, so we'll pass on that. Yeah, Shea Bryson just signed with us as a rookie, and he stinks, so we're not going to give him that option. Zuzovic. We can't do anything with. And Madsen we can't do anything with. So here's where we are. Training camp. Yeah, let's go ahead and go to the training camp. Let's do Shea Bryson. Yeah, let's go ahead and sign our scouting points for next season. We have a bunch to work with. Wow. I think this is because of the new head coach we hired, though. Okay, so what we'll do on that, we'll go ahead and do a D-League assignment. D-League draft. We'll generate new rookies for next season's draft class. All right, and we're now in the new season. And really, we have a lot of money to work with. We have a couple of free spots open. Let's get through the first day. And let's get through the second day. We have no games on day 2. Day 3, here we are. So we have a couple of spots to fill up. Bryson did grow a little bit. I still think we should sign one more 4, and then the best player that's not a 3. So let's go to sign free agents. Matthew Bridge is still available and played for us before. So let's sign Matthew Bridge once again, I think. And then the best player that's not a 3 is Dwayne McCleary. So let's sign Dwayne McCleary. And then let's look at our depth chart. And here's the depth chart. So we got Duckray, Crowley, Payne, Bridge, and Parker as the starting lineup. Zuzovic, Little, Marsh, Arnold, and even Madsen getting some minutes off the bench. Not much for McCleary or Bryson. So that's kind of what we're looking at for the start of season 8. And that's where we'll end this video. So we did get through the entire off season. I know I didn't do much with free agency. I probably could have. I completely forgot about renouncing the contracts that were expiring. So I should have done that. I could have realized I had 17 million to work with in free agency as opposed to 2 million and possibly signed a better power forward than Matthew Bridge. But you know what? Just as I learned last night with the college series I'm doing. There are no takebacks. Once you do something, it's done. There are no takebacks in the real world, and there are no takebacks in this series. So you know what? We have what we have now. And it is saved. I'll save it again just to put emphasis on it. And with that being said, we'll see you next time.